Hi, this is Milan with MMD Construction. Today we are here at one of our job sites where SDG&E wound up hooking up their power out at the power lines to the wrong electrical source. So what that did is that fried the panel here and caught the house on fire. So now what we're going to have to do is our guys have already started to replace the power panel so we can have temp power for the house. But inside here we're going to have to redo the framing. We're going to have to re-stucco the entire wall and do a few things on the inside, and let's go around and take a look at that. Now we're in the inside of the garage where the panel caught on fire. As you can see, we have burnt marks all along the plywood here, up on the top plates, across the header, even up on these trusses up inside the roof here. Currently we're working with a structural engineer and a draftsman to redraw this so that we can make it structurally sound again. Because once the wood gets charred up there, the structural integrity of it will have to be fixed and replaced. So what comes along with that is we're going to have to remove the plywood on the roof and all the tiles so we can work from the top down so we can fix the house and put it back to normal. What we're going to have to do on the wall here is once we get the plans, they're going to tell us what we're going to have to do to redesign this and rebuild it. I'm sure in this section here we're going to have to replace the top plates, reframe the wall, and order a new window. Over on the electrical panel here, now that we have the new one set, they're just going to have to take the wires from here, rerun them down inside there, or pull them back up into the panel. But once we get the new plans, we'll be back out here and we'll be seeing the guys replacing all the wood in these areas that need to get replaced and reframed so we can get to drywalling. Now we have our windows set inside here. We have our stucco that got chipped away. When the stucco guys come over here to get this actually waterproof correctly, they're going to wind up chipping this back about 12 inches, getting to nice paper back here that's not ripped up like this, waterproofing it correctly, and then putting their wire mesh back on. We'll be back out here to talk about that a little more once we get to that point. Over here we have our electrical panel. As you guys saw before, we didn't have all the paper behind it. We wanted to waterproof it correctly, so we wound up sticking some moist stop behind it with some caulking, moist stop over it. So now when the lathers come to put their paper and wire mesh up, they're going to be able to waterproof all this correctly. Last time as well, our framing wasn't done. We wound up tearing out the framing on this entire wall and that stucco soffit up there and reframing all of it so that we don't have any of the burn smell and any of the fire damage material inside here. So now we'll go around to the inside and take a look at what we got there. So now we're inside where the building burned down, the house, the roof. As you can see, the owners hired us as a design build. So we were able to take this job and the set of plans and be able to design the new trusses, the roof, to make it work with the existing structure that was here so we didn't have to tear the whole thing down. And that also makes it easier on the owners so that they didn't have to go to a bunch of different contacts such as architects, designers, and everything. We were able to bring it all in-house and make it super easy for him so that he had one point of contact. If you look up here, you can see we have some new wood truss beam members. That's holding up the roof. Before, in the earlier video, all this stuff was burned and we had to remove it because it ruined the structural integrity of the roof. So now we wound up pulling out what we had to pull out that was burned and replacing with new lumber. So now we're good to go. We had inspection on it, we're ready to rock and roll. Over here on this wall, if you guys remember, this whole wall was burned. All these pieces on the wall were completely burned, and we wound up pulling everything out and reframing it and making it so it's structurally sound. And now, once the inspector saw it, he was fine with it, and we're signed off and ready to move forward with going on to drywall. Hey, so now we're back here at our job where we wound up having the stucco guys come back. They wound up putting their lath up on the wall so that we have our paper, our mesh, and they wound up chipping this back nicely and cutting back all the wire so they can come in and waterproof it correctly so we don't have any issues later on down the line. We had the inspector come out, he signed us off, so next inspection we have is final inspection. The inspector didn't have much time to look at the job. He kind of just glimpsed it and said, all right, call me back for final. So we're going to go through and make sure that this is all done properly and make sure that the owner doesn't have any issues later on down the line. So if you look around the electrical panel here, they made sure to do their caulking all around here. The other openings that they have inside the paper, they wound up doing their caulking all around it. Same with even the electrical plugs that they did down below here. So as you can see, it's a pretty good job. We should be good and waterproofed. Also, they ran their black paper up underneath the moist stop that we have on the wall. So Up here on the soffit, we're going to be setting all the paper that they already have here, and they're going to wind up stuck going through here, patching it, and making it look like nothing ever happened here. Alright, so now we're inside. We have the place hung in drywall. As you can see, because we have all the electrical wires there, we had to build a little soffit, drywall around it, so once we come through and they mud all the walls, you're not going to be able to notice it. The inspector came and checked this, signed it all off. On the drywall, you always want to make sure you have your screws within 6 inches and it's not penetrating the actual paper on it. And they want to keep it within 3 inches, within 3/8 of the edge, so that the inspector will sign off for you. We wound up doing 5/8 drywall all through here. That's a fire retardant drywall that we can use in the garages. So if there ever is a fire, it has a 1-hour rating to it. Up on the ceiling here, they hung all new drywall inside here. We have our sprinkler pipes that we wound up reusing. So we were able to reuse a lot of the stuff, but in certain things we had to make new.
Hi, Milan Jokic here with MMD Construction to talk to you a little bit about the job that we just finished. We had an issue with SDG&E where they wound up hooking up the power rung in the street and wound up blowing up the electrical panel and back. So we basically had to tear off the roof of the existing house, rebuild it, and rebuild some of the structural walls. And I'm going to walk you through right now and talk a little bit about what we did. So over here we have basically the section of the house that wound up burning, and we had to tear off and rebuild. So we had existing garage doors that we took out, we redid, we reinstalled them, and now over here we had a lot of stucco damage where we had patching, holes, all new roof tile, and we wound up patching it to make it look like nothing ever happened here. Back over here in this section is where the fire originated with the electrical panel. And if you take a look at this wall, we had to wind up tearing the entire wall down, rebuilding it, and the roof that's on top of it. We took this house basically from a burnt place. We got our design team in here, we designed it, we pulled the permits, we got the permits, and we made this look exactly the way it was before we started the project. And the homeowners are extremely happy because they didn't have to deal with anything. So we made it super easy on them to be able to take this, permit it, and rebuild it to the way it was before. As you can see, all the stucco work that we did, it looks like nothing ever happened here. And that's the whole point. So please stay tuned to our YouTube channel at MMD Construction, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.